time that it's on. This is what they're fucking doing. This is why you dumb fucks don't need to be falling for the bullshit that is on the fucking internet. This is the type of time they're on right now. This is what we doing. We're bringing the KKK back. Bet. We got something for that ass. Try it if you fucking want. You pussies got ran up off the bridge. I'm burning all this shit. They're leaving QR codes to put in applications for the KKK because some drunk white motherfuckers in a black neighborhood. You're not scaring shit off. You'll fucking die. Try it if you want. Y'all didn't learn y'all lessons down. Y'all didn't learn y'all lessons down. Y'all didn't learn y'all lessons downtown. Try it. You saw what happens when you don't keep your hands to yourself. You saw what happens when you don't keep your hands to yourself. You got your fucking ass beat. You weak motherfuckers. Try it if you fucking want. Try it if you want. Know that. Know that. Know that. Know that.
Luke chapter 12, verse 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father, the Most High, our Creator and our Power, who the world ignorantly calls God. His name is Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, our Lord, our Savior, and our Deliverer, the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls JC. His name is Yahweh Shai. It's called Halamla, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechakodash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations, peace, blessings, and safety be unto the hopeful elect out there. And it's going to be a real quick lesson, just blowing a trumpet, man, on things going on around the world. And hey, man, just reporting. Hey, the Lord is the Lord is blowing upon that fire. Okay, as I just read Luke 12 and 49, Yahweh Shai, He said He's come to send fire on the earth. And what will He if it be already kindled? Meaning that He wants it. He desires for that fire to be kindled. That fire representing the chaos, the turmoil, the troubles, the evils. The Lord wants these things to be happening. And there's many different things that's going to contribute to that fire. But this is one aspect of the fire, which is the race war. All right, the Lord is stirring up that pot of hatred between the woman's seed, which represents Israel, and the serpent seed, which represents, ultimately the Edomites. Okay, that hatred, that enmity between Jacob and Esau. All right, the Lord is stirring that up, man. And that's why I entitled it, "The Lord is blowing upon the fire," because the fire is already kindled. But the Lord is increasing the intensity of that fire. And what happens when fire increases, man? If that fire is not contained, it causes further greater destruction. Okay, you seeing a lot of these Edomites coming out, and they're getting more bold, because of the way that Trump and his administration is moving. The things that Trump and his administration are saying is causing these Edomites to become more bold and more confident. And these Edomites, they coming straight out and just telling you, man, we got black fatigue, man. We tired of you niggas. We're tired of you niggers. We're fed up. We're done. And the Lord is putting that spirit on Esau, to get back in his natural estate, man, his nature, man, which is a hunter. Okay, and soon, they gonna put a move on it, man. It's not gonna be back and forth words. It ain't gonna be rallies and them just expressing their hatred and their open racism. It's gonna get to the point to where they like, man, we about to put things in action. And that's what we want, man. We want for the Lord to continue to blow upon that fire and to increase this this enmity between Jake and Esau, man. The sooner that happens, the sooner we're, Esau, the Revelation 12:12 comes to pass, because it's close. We can see, the way that Trump has been talking lately, the way that he's been moving, with the funding, troops is moving around in the streets, hey, we close, man. But I'm gonna just go over a few things that's been happening, and just to show, again, that fire is being blown upon, the pot being stirred, the tensions are rising between so-called blacks and so-called whites. Okay, this is a tweet from J.D. Vance. It says, the big lie to Democrats told about violent crime is that it's systemic, and therefore no one's really responsible. If the so-called system is to blame, then you fund a bunch of nonprofits that don't do anything besides give jobs to underqualified radicals. The reality is that the gross majority of violent crime is committed by a very small group of people, and we should be throwing them in prison. And you can just read between the lines, man. He said everything but niggas. He said everything but black people. A lot of these Edomites, they do a lot of, especially the politicians and those in the public eye. They like to talk in circles and do a lot of circumlocution and use extra words and not be straightforward to the point of what they're trying to say. But you can read between the lines of what he's saying. He's pretty much saying that the violence in the U.S., okay, is majority from a small group of people, which is black people. That's what he's saying. Okay. This is another tweet from a page called American as Fuck. And Elon Musk, he pretty much he concurred with the tweet, which the tweet says, white people have a simple choice to make. 1, be conquered, enslaved, raped, and genocided while being called racist. Or number 2, reclaim our nation and our dignity while being called racist. It's that simple. So they're pretty much, they're okay with the idea of being called racist. That's not a big deal. It's like, okay, whoop-de-doo, what's new? But they like, we ain't gonna just sit down, we ain't just gonna, sit on our hands and let our great country, America, go down the drain. We're gonna fight for our country and our rights and our constitution and our democracy. We're gonna fight. We're not gonna let it slip. We're gonna do everything in our power to make America white again. Okay. And Trump is like, yes. Elon Musk, he like, yes. This, this is the one. Okay. So, you got your politicians who's supposed to be unbiased, who's supposed to be, balanced, coming straight out and letting you know, look, we telling you what side we on. We know. All right. After all, he was for a period of time a part of the Trump administration. Okay, regardless of what office he was holding or what work he was actually doing, he was a open Trump supporter. Okay, don't fall for the theatrics. He's still with it. This is another tweet, but this one is from Elon Musk. Okay, I'm going to read the tweet that he responded to first by Amiri King. It says, you want to know something that should make you very uncomfortable? White people are victims of black violence at insanely disproportionate rates. It's not even close. So this guy, in his delusional fucking mind, thinks that white people suffer violence by black people at a very disproportionate rate. As he said, it's not even close. The type of violence that black people have towards whites is outstanding. Okay, it says between 2017 and 2021, black on white violent incidents totaled allegedly 2.38 million. White on black totaled 0.37 million. And this is bullshit statistics that came out of his ass that he just posted. And you have people that's going to take that and take it as doctrine and believe it without doing their own research, which is really no way to do research, because you can't really tally that up. You can't really keep track of white on white, black on black, black on white, white on black crime, whatever you want to call it. You can't really keep track of that. But I know those numbers are bullshit. Okay? Because if you want to be honest, Edomite crime is outstanding. Okay? Now the crimes that Edomites commit against so-called blacks is a large in number as well, but the crimes that they commit on each other is outstanding. Just look at the murder suicide rates. Just look at the mass shooting rates. Just look at the T attack rates and all that. Come on now. That we don't even have to go there, but just putting it out there, the information as to the narrative that's being pushed and publicized, man. We're getting to the point to where the Lord is putting the spirit on these Edomites to be fed up. They tired of niggas. Okay, we understand, what just happened recently, and it's a lot going on within a few days span. Okay, two Edomite women was attacked. I'm not really sure about the story of the other one. I just heard about it. I didn't get a chance to look into it, but apparently it was another dreadhead nigga that attacked another Edomite woman. Okay, I seen this video of the nigga on the train or bus, whatever it is. I think it's a bus. But the Ukrainian woman, she walked in, sat down in front of Jake. Jake randomly pulled out a knife and got the swing in that thing. Okay, poked her up. She's out of there. But a lot of Edomites are mad about that. Okay, because this bugged out nigga decided to go on that poking spree. This is another tweet from Green Beret Nap Time. It says, statistics make people angry, so let's throw some more out. If black and Hispanic people are taken out of the equation, it says the U.S. and its 400 plus million registered firearms would have one of the lowest firearm homicide rates in the entire world. Which again, these are personal statistics. These is not facts. This is not based on actual numbers. This is just shit that people is throwing out there just to push a narrative. Okay? And again, what it said, the homicide rates. When you think of the word homicide, you automatically think of Jake. But even like Esau is a fucking hypocrite, man. All right. What you see the most is the sensual. What do you call it? They sensualize the murder, the homicide of Jake. You got shows like First 48, right? And all you see on there is Jake, mostly Southern Kingdom. But then nobody talks about Forensic Files and shows like that where Esau do the sickest shit, and they just they do the same type of heinous things. Okay. Nobody talks about those numbers though. Okay, but pretty much the same sentiment. They trying to say Jake is the most violent, right? They're making you out to be the bad guy, okay, the problem, and at the same time saying, hey, we have a solution to this problem. and soon we're gonna solve it. You know, this how Trump been talking lately. We're gonna solve this problem that America has, and we're gonna clean it up, and we're gonna make it safe, and we're gonna make it white again. You know, right? This is what they, this is what they pushing, man. The so-called blackface is the problem, the killer, the monster, the antagonist, the villain, while this so-called white face is the good guy. Right? It's time to rise up against these preventable crimes. Okay, and you also had a school shooting today out there in Colorado. 3 or 4 students was shot at I'm not sure, I believe it was a high school, and they're gonna try to use this narrative to with Gideon, right? The recent, I believe it's AI powered system on the internet that tracks terroristic language and tries to, or is aimed towards preventing those attacks from being put in play, put in action. And they're gonna use it for things like this as well, man. Somehow, all right. Like I said, it's time to rise up against these preventable crimes. Criminals belong locked up. Okay, it says we can't breathe. White lives matter. That's a fucking joke. Okay, this is just a screenshot of the video that I played in the beginning. But I'm gonna play this video by what Trump said, and then I'm gonna get some scriptures, man.
Long Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people. Really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors. 50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot. And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia. The capital of America was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done. It can happen fast. All we want is, please, Mr. President, we need help. Chicago needs help. Other cities needs help. We'll do what has to be done because we're going to make America safe again, and that includes our big cities. We're going to make those cities safe. Thank you.
All right, just listen.
Yeah, man. Hey, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, for the devil shall come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Apparently, according to Trump, D.C. is now a safe place. It's without violence. I wonder if the citizens, or the actual people living there agree, and if they noticed. But look at this, 1 Peter 5:8. It says, be sober, be vigilant. because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And, hey, Jake gonna realize that they've always been the prey. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Hey, Jake was bullshitting and joking around and, taking it light when ICE was rolling on Northern Kingdom. And guess what? Now, that fast, overnight, you a target. It's easy for them to push a narrative they even sacrifice their own to put their actions, their agenda in play. But that's why we got to be sober and be vigilant, man. Meaning sober minded. Okay, being on the watch, being on your P's and Q's, man. Being careful of what you posting, what you saying, who you hanging around, where you going. Just being mindful, man. Being aware, especially in these times. These are very sensitive times. These are very evil times, and we have to be on point through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Because there's a lot going on right now. It's a lot of shit going on. And most of these people are freaking clueless. They don't know what the hell was going on. They don't know what's about to go on. A lot of these people are fucking lost. Zombies. Okay? Still living in some fantasy world. Whether it be that they just don't know what the hell going on, or those who know what's going on and they in denial, they want to ignore it because they don't want to disrupt their peace and their comfort zone. So they just act like it's not happening. Whatever it may be. These people are ignorant though. But us, who have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the Holy Spirit given by Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, we have this. We have the truth. We have the word telling us what's coming, what's gonna happen, what to expect. We have signs to look for. We have a measuring tool to measure the times that we in. We understand that shit gonna get worse, a lot worse, before it get better. We hastening and we actually encouraging the Lord to continue to bring these things, man, which is the division, okay? The chaos, all of those things, because in order for us to get to the kingdom, the peace, the paradise, the comfort, all of that, we got to go through the straight gate. But in the meantime, we gonna continue to watch, so as not to get caught up in it, though we're expecting it. May Yahweh Shem Yahushua continue to keep His hedge upon us and our families, man. But Esau, he's on the prowl right now, man. He's on the hunt. So be very careful. Keep your eyes peeled. Watch your surroundings. Be more tight with the way you move. And go for me first and foremost. 2 Esdras 15-14. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay? And the Lord is agitating what's already been a problem. Okay? Even 5 years ago, you had, the threats, and, you had Edomites going to the shooting. They've been going, but I'm just saying, it's been more, it's, again, agitated, man. Edomites going to the shooting range and using pictures of Jake for their targets, and Jake coming with their militant little movements and stuff on. You got a lot of Jake mounting up with guns too, getting their arsenal and their artillery together. It's about to get real, man, out here in these streets. Because the Lord is making it happen, man. One people shall stand up to fight against another, and that's not talking about one particular people. It's going to be many different types of one people standing up against each other. You're going to have race wars. You're going to have gender wars. You're gonna have political wars. You're gonna have, many different forms of war going on, because the Lord is increasing that division in the earth. For there shall be sedition among men. Sedition is rebellion against the government, against authority, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, which is the people standing up and fighting and taking things into their own hands, because they can't trust the government no more. They can't depend on or rely on voting or petitions, and things that once seemed to work for them is not working no more. So they like, man, let's take this shit in our own hands. Let's rise up. Let's make a move. We want it. Let's go get it. And they're not going to regard their kings or no princes. The politicians, the judges, the sheriff, the councils. All of these positions of authority. They're not going to care about none of that. Whatever your title is, you just another person. If you're not with them, you standing in the way. It's going to get bloody. For there shall be sedition among men. Right? Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And the way Trump is talking, hey, we very close to that. Martial law. Checkpoints in the streets and being blocked off. Whether it be from city to city, from neighborhood to neighborhood, or maybe from state to state, whatever. We know eventually you ain't gonna be able to move in and out, travel to and fro freely no more, man. Because they're gonna say it's a national security issue. We have to lock things down. So guess what's coming? More funding, more troops being deployed, being activated. It's just too much going on right now, right? Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth, right? For all of these people that think, all of this is going to pass, just like all of the other bad times, this too shall pass. That Christianity spirit, that Baptist church doctrine, it's always been bad. This is going to pass eventually. We're going to get back to pre-2020. We're going to get back to the good times. Just wait on it. No, it's not coming. It's going to continue to get bad. People are going to continue to fight. Because the Lord said it. I came not to send peace, but a sword. And that's double fold, because the Lord is sending a sword, which is, the many different forms of the sword, the gun, bombs, bacteria, pestilences, so on and so forth. Everything that can be used as a weapon, as well as what a sword represents. A sword is used to divide. So the Lord he's bringing division, and he's bringing death into the earth, man. And we gotta stay, get closer to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, so that we may have mercy in that time, man, when the Lord continue to visit the earth. Yeah, it's getting hot, man. Hey, what's this? September? We got what? October, November, December, January. We got 3.5 months left before so-called 2026. Hey, who knows what'll happen in these last, this last quarter, right? Hey, may the Lord continue to speed up the times, man, shorten the days, and go ahead and put the spirit on Esau to do what he gonna do, and Lord willing, have mercy on us, man. But that's it, man. Lord willing, I pray this is edifying. And with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. The honors unto the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations, peace, blessings, and safety to the whole full lit. DTA, Yabba Ball, Kwame Ashala. Till next time, Shalom.